Hello, everyone. Welcome to Stay on the Line, a horror genre podcast hosted by the one and only iconic Terrah Card. Make some noise for yourself.
That's me. And
And co-hosted
co-hosted by...
me, Zanny X. This is my first time doing the intro. I'm excited. This is where we talk about something horror genre related. We giggle bust a little too much and we have some fun. And we're about to get into Dragula Titans episode 3.
Yep, and we have new episodes every Thursday. Zanny, how are you doing?
I am good. My show was last night. It was fun. It was cute.
Monday
And
morning,
then
if you're in the
Monday
Kansas City area.
morning. Yeah, it's Kansas City's only alternative show for the next couple weeks. We have somebody else is doing an alternative show now, which is exciting. So that'll be in November 17th, I think, is when it comes out. So until November 17th, we're the only alternative show in Kansas City weekly. Slay. And it was fun. It was really fun. It was really exciting. But I stayed out way too late, and then I woke up way too late, and now I'm here, which is why I only have my shirt on.
Work. Yep, I saw the crotch.
The
I
pineapple
saw the crotch
tidbits.
unwillingly because she just tilted her camera down, and I was like, "Oh my god,
He said, "Ah!"
I'm doing
So
great."
how are you? How are you doing, Derek?
Honestly, still kind of sick, but just
Yeah.
kind of gotta cough and sneeze and blow my nose and get all the sinful things out.
Would you say sick or would you say sick? Ning, mama.
I love that
Get
your
going.
cat is still like a part of this podcast.
Every week she wants to. Can you just send me
Cat
audio clips of her?
Cam, Cat Cam. Is this Luna?
This is Aurora. I've
Oh,
never had a Luna. Look at
oh,
how gorgeous she is. Is she in line?
yeah, yeah. You're like, is she in frame? I'm like, she's right in front of your face.
She is a delightful 14 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And she's given birth 4
Like
times.
not in cat years, but like human years?
Yeah, human years. And look
Oh,
at this. Look at this.
don't show the butthole. I don't want to
Oh,
get, taken down.
yeah.
Zanny
Well,
shows me her pussy on camera. Not clickbait.
clickbait.
Yeah, we're talking about Dragula Titans episode 3. And
Yeah.
yeah, I had general thoughts on the episode. Did you like this episode?
Compared to last week, it was good. It
Okay.
was not great, but it was significantly better than last week. But once again, we are, I don't know if I'm jumping ship, but we're 3 weeks in, and I'm so tired of hearing about this love triangle. Even she is.
Yeah, there goes the cat.
I'm about to lock her away in her room.
I love that for her. For this episode, I don't really care for the love triangle that's still going on. I do think overall this was probably, for everybody, for a majority of the runway, this was probably one of the best runways in the
We've
in the
had.
series. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
agree.
think so. Because I think the people who I didn't think would do great surprised me. And I think everyone kind of like really hit the mark. And I love the references and a lot of the looks too.
There was no one that I wasn't impressed with, if I'm being transparent. Like, I think everyone did it, except
I think 2 or 3. I was kind of
2.
like, huh.
Yeah, that I was kind of off on.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was a good episode. It was a fun episode. Nice unpacking with some emotions, which I thought was really nice.
Yeah.
Just to kind of get, we're, I think we're starting to, I don't know. I feel like maybe we're finally getting to the point where we're learning about these people a little bit more, and that's what I want.
Okay,
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah, especially with Melissa, because a lot of the topic at hand has just been, it's really just been about 3 people for the past 3 episodes.
That, and even Kendra said in the, there's a moment when they pull aside, and Kendra was like, "Do y'all think this weird triangle thing is like real, or do y'all think this is like for attention?"
And I think
Uh,
Melissa was like, I think it's both.
Yeah, Melissa's like, I think it's both. And I honestly agree. Like, I do think, I don't know, there are times that I'm like, this is too uncomfortable in my opinion for this to be real. Like, this is so
It's very
awkward.
uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. I was
Who said
uncomfortable
it?
this episode, like a lot. I was very uncomfortable, like secondhand embarrassment.
That I think it was Erica said something along the lines where she was like, was it Erica? I wrote it in my notes. Someone in this room said, "I'm so tired of this group of 3 doing this," and it's Astrid, Poso, and Abora,
It could have been
and just
Melissa
like
because then she talks about
subjecting
how
all
like
of us.
yeah, you know what? I don't know who it was.
I was impressed with Victoria this week. I was impressed with Victoria.
I mean, in terms of the runway, I think she was great, but I always forget she's in the episode until the runway.
That, and she never, yeah, very true.
Yeah, we're introduced right away. Everyone comes back in. They find out that Yoska went home. A lot of people aren't really surprised. Some people are surprised, but I think people are overall happy that Kendra's back. But then Kendra, and I like that Melissa says this to Astrid and Eva. Like, Melissa brings up to Astrid and Eva, like, hey, in front of everyone, you're saying that Kendra did the worst in the challenge, but on the side, you're like, hey, girl, I think you should stay. Like, girl, you're so sickening. And they're like, I don't think we're being two-faced. And then, like, Kendra walks in and says the exact
What?
same thing. Like, bitch, what's the fucking tea? Because, like, I like that. I like that they are very confrontational. Not to, like, stir the drama, but it's like, well, bitch, if you're going to say all this shit and then not in front of everyone, you want to just slime me and do it to the side. It's like, what the fuck is the point in saying it?
That I actually really liked it because that was the first thing, and Miss Coco said, what is it? She said, it's Ofska for Miss Yovska. That sent me.
Mm-hmm.
That sent me like a go bust. And then she walked in and she was like, yeah, I don't like that you talked about me. And then even like the gag is that Eva then apologized, and then Eva was like, I'm sorry, like that's not my type of person. Please forgive me. And she was like, girl, we're cooler than the other side of the pillow, like chill. And then it goes into the subject of the triangle, and Eva's like, I'm so over it, I'm tired of it, like I'm annoyed by it. And then goes and comforts Abora right after, and everyone in the workroom was like, girl, this is exactly what we're talking about.
Kind of confused on on what we're supposed to be watching right now, because a lot of it is just like, it really it's like Astrid being like, as an empath, I really feel for you, and like, honestly, like, your feelings are very valid, but my feelings are kind of more valid than yours. Like, that's how it seems. And like, yeah, Astrid and Abora go to the side and have a conversation, which is really awkward as fuck, because she's like, I know that Hoso isn't, you're not gonna get over, like, you and Hoso are not gonna be a thing, so like, you kind of need to get over it so that me and Hoso can maybe be a thing. And it's just like, what?
But then it's also like in the same essence, right? You're like listening to this conversation. Okay, but also Astrid Hoso has a partner at home.
Well, I think
Like
Hoso has said, like, she's not monogamous.
that's valid. I mean, I get that. But like it's weird. The triangle is weird.
I'm
And
just uncomfortable by it. I'm really uncomfortable by it. I'm like tired of talking about them. I really am.
that we can go into the fright feet. So they have to spin in these lockers that spin super super fast for 3 minutes. First they called it the gravitron, and I thought it was going to be like that fair ride called that was called the gravitron, and it
Where
was
they're
like a
like in
giant
a
UFO.
giant circle, and they're like their backs are pressed against the wall, right?
Yeah, and like I'm not gonna lie, when I was like 15, I googled how to rent one because I wanted one for my birthday. I was dumb. I just had a weird fantasy. They're only like $2,000 for a night. They could have rented one, and it would have done the same thing, and it would have been. I would have lived for that.
Could they have rented one? I don't know, because there's no prizes for these challenge wins. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, yeah. No prizes. There was no benefit this week with winning the fright feet. There
There
was no
was no
winning.
winner. There's no winner of the
You just
fright
did
feet.
it.
You just did it for 3 minutes, spun around.
That.
Like
And
the
then it
other
all
ones,
came off of it like
yeah, they
I
were
was
just like, oh, that sucked. Like the other fright feats clearly had like an advantage. Like, you pick the roles, you cast baldness on, and I saw people talking about this. They should have done it where, like, if you won the fright feat last week, everyone gets bald except for you. Now that would have really been gaggy. Or
everybody
like
gets
just
what?
picking one specific person would have just been like, okay,
Oh, I see. Everyone gets to be bald. Yeah,
yeah,
it's
except
also
for you.
like I'm not like this is giving me very Dragula original season. I want extra. Like I want it to be so juicy. Like this is Titans. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Like, it could be
Like
the same fright feat, but just give us like a prize or
give
something
us something
for.
intense. Give us, even if it's not even a prize. Like you said, everyone bald. Like I want to be gagged every single second of the series. And maybe I know that this is their first one, so they're figuring out how this format and the system works. So I will give them that. I will give
Yeah.
them that benefit and that grace. But yeah, like this is not a normal season. We've waited almost a year for this. You know, I want juice. I want blood. I want it. And these looks served tonight, like they or last night. Uh, I was here for the looks.
Yeah. So do you want to explain the challenge?
So the challenge is basically
The main challenge.
extraterrestrial, robotic. The main challenge, cyborg. You know, that kind of energy. They have to do something sci-fi related, which I feel like everyone kind of did.
Well, it just has to be sci-fi related, not necessarily cyborg. So
Just
just sci-fi
something.
related, you can interpret it as camp or horror is what they said. And that's the challenge. I wish they had an acting part of it.
I was glad this was the first one that like there was no like lip sync or there was no like added. Like I was excited for it to just be the traditional floor show of like their names popping up and then seeing their look, and then their names
Mm-hmm.
popping up and then seeing their look. My only like dumb criticism, and this is really stupid, but like their audio track changed 3 times, and it changed at like random points that weren't in sync with the visuals.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, this is not,
I think they
crafting into
changed
my
them
mind.
for specific looks, for sure.
Yeah, I felt that. Like I was like, huh. And my mind was like, they changed the music, but they did it during the middle of someone's performance. So did the track. I don't know. It was so minuscule. That was just my brain picking up on something where I was like,
I
this is
wonder what
weird.
music they are listening to when they're wiggling their body around. Like, are they
Uh,
listening to music with actual lyrics, or are they listening to the same like instrumental track?
got a trick up my sleeve.
Yeah.
It's just,
This
I
one
want
is
to
for
say
the boys.
like,
Maybe that's what Astrid was
this
dancing to.
one,
This one is for the boys in the
the
movie
one with the
system.
movie
Yeah, Astrid
system.
looked wild performing. Because I was like, is she tripping on her outfit, or is she just.
Walking. I think Kendra's bit was funnier, if I'm being honest. I think that it's we lost a lot of it in production for it to make sense. But like when it comes to the looks, I feel like Kendra's was lackluster, so I understand their placement. But I
Yeah.
definitely like when we were watching it, I was like, and like I was trying to hear what they were saying, and I couldn't hear it over like the music and the lights and the things changing and it being spiced up. I was like, we're missing so much of what this is. But like, you should know how that system works. I would never have tried to do that in that situation.
I thought the editing was fine. Like artistically for everyone it was good. It was just like the random change up obviously with Kendra who was speaking during their thing. I mean, at least they let them do that. Like I thought that was
Yeah,
fine. I think Kendra was trying to do a like a bitch pudding moment where bitch pudding went camp obviously, but I think it just needed the out that cause first of all, Kendra's we're going to be talking about some of the looks now. Kendra's paint for the whole body was good. I
it
thought
was
the paint
great.
was good,
Yeah,
the face was stamped, the hair was good. It was just the actual garment just needed something else to it. And I think if she had
yeah.
an actual like if she had like a more like futuristic like even if it was like a simple kind of like teen dress or something or whatever, like like very scream queens like more weird looking or like scream queens mixed with like Hunger Games like
Hmm.
the people in the Capitol how they'd be wearing that weird shit like something like that I think would have been good or if she was like a queen if she was like a queen and had the side hoop cage with the outfit that would have like really elevated it I think that would have saved her from the bottom two and I think the
I
bottom
will
two would have been
say
Astrid and Eva.
I kind of disagree. I mean, it's hard because like I yes, but then also like to me, like they booked Kendra knowing who Kendra was, and like to me, what Kendra brought was Kendra elevated in my opinion. And so it's kind of like, yeah, I would have liked more, but also like I was not disappointed. Like that was exactly what I would have expected Kendra to do, and I was like living and gagging for it. It's hard because like Erica, for instance, like Erica stepped out of her Erica box, so I was like in love with it. Obviously, so like if Kendra stepped out of her Kendra box, I would love it. It's like
I
what
mean,
you're saying. Like I
she
would be
could have
here for
still
that.
kept it Kendra. It just needed like the actual garment itself could have been a little bit better,
Mm-hmm.
like some stones on it, some appliques, something. I
Valid,
think the
something to make it
coat
a little
it
bit
too.
more
The coat kind of wore it down. Like if the coat had a specific silhouette to it, I think it would have been better. But
valid.
yeah, Erica was a good standout. I didn't even know who Erica was when she came out, and then I saw the rest of the costume, and I was like, oh, okay, that's Erica.
I didn't like the hand dragons
Yeah,
when they put them down and pull their hands out. That was really, and I like that. I like the red. The red was so intense. And it looked like blood. Like they decapitated, which I thought was camp. But for a second, it looked like they were trying to make it part of their outfit, and that I did not like.
Yeah, I
I
would have
was like,
preferred it if it were like dragon guns or something, like just one giant gun with two dragon heads, like a shotgun.
Yeah, it was. But I liked. I couldn't even tell it was Erica. I really liked it. They really stepped out of their. To me, they really ate. You know, and they kind of even said this, which like this is the only time that I will personally be like okay with the I'm tired of being safe conversation where Erica was like, I gave it my all. Like I did everything and I'm still safe. Like this is
Yeah, she was like,
weird.
this makes me a little worried because I just put a lot of effort into this, like a lot of effort, my best effort, and I was just safe. So she's kind of like, damn.
That is the only time that I will like accept that narrative, not narrative, but like that situation. Because like a lot of times they're like, I can't believe I was safe. I really wanted to hear the judges' criticisms. I'm like, you were safe. You have another week to show yourself. Like,
Ugh.
what are you complaining
Yo,
about? I
Astrid's
can't stand
monologue
it.
later, we'll get to that, but that fucking monologue with the national anthem playing.
Yeah, and all the
Yeah. Okay, so
it's fun.
let's talk about our favorite outfits.
Yeah,
So, what were like some of your favorite outfits?
I will say this is the first time that I got to see Victoria on the runway where I was like,
Yeah.
you know, and I've been waiting for that. That was so
Do
sickening.
you know the reference?
Um, no.
It's from the movie, the prequel to The Thing, which came out in 2011. One of the women kind of burst open with a thing. Like, she looks exactly like it. And one of the arms is crazy. Her head is like hanging out the back, and it's just a mouth in the front. And
That makes so much sense now
why Abora said, how are
because
we
of
supposed to compete with Universal Studios?
yeah, that makes so much sense now because she also works with Universal Studios and
Oh, does she really?
she does the horror, the fright.
Halloween Horror Nights?
Yeah. She's one of the main involvements in that, or at
Oh,
least she
okay.
was. She's been. I don't know. You know, I don't know her background, but she was that for like a good 2 or 3 years ago.
Hmm.
And she's been. I'm pretty sure she's been doing that every year. But yeah, that makes so much sense now. That makes so much sense. But yeah, it was sickening. I was blown away. Astrid's, I was really impressed with. I actually thought when we saw the silhouette that Astrid was Hoso, and then when it like lifted up, I was like, and it was like Astrid. I was like, oh, Erica fully impressed me. I
Mm-hmm.
was not expecting that from them. I liked Hoso's, but I didn't like the sword. The sword gave me like a leftover prop from the pirate prop, and they like just threw it on to throw it on. But I
But it
really
was
liked
like a
their
katana sword, wasn't it? Like, it was
yeah.
more of
So
a
it didn't
thinner sword.
and it fit. It just they were so like robotic, and to me, in my mind and in my fantasy, like if you're gonna be like this cyborg robotic thing, then like I want your main weapon to be like a gun or like electricity or some like a laser or a beam.
I think this
Not
sword was fine. Just maybe put some things on it to make it look more like a futuristic sword. But I
yeah.
understood
Versus
her.
like it
I
wasn't
understood her
very
references. I've seen some like Japanese horror too, which she's Korean. There's two different things, but there's a
that.
lot of J horror, which her one of her, it was inspired by also some. I think there was a Kill Bill references too into this look, and it reminded
Mm-hmm.
me of this weird ass fucking Japanese movie I saw. Like I don't even know what it was called, but I was watching it. And I was like, I don't know, it was the prosthetics were just crazy. So this was like one of the creatures I could have seen in that movie. Coco looked pretty good. I
Yeah,
was
I
really
was
happy
really
to see that. The gun looked really cool. She made. I was watching her live earlier today. She says she made that gun out of the foam that you get from Walmart that has the ridges on it, and I guess she just like painted over it, which is like really cool. And then she used like a Barbie mirror to like put in so she could like check herself. I thought that was really cool. I thought she looked really good. I think Coco looked really good. Hosa looked good. Victoria, just for the reference, was really cool. It was very like, okay, this is kind of cosplay a little bit because I knew the reference. I was
mhm.
like, this looks exactly like it. So it was a little cosplay to me. However, the way she was bending her body back the whole time was very similar to the movie too, because that's what's happening. Is the woman is kind of transforming in her. She's bending backwards, and the mouth is basically the
Mhm.
front. So that was really cool. Who else was on the runway? Oh, Melissa was cool. I like the predator look with the like thousands and thousands of stones on it. I will
I
say
was
the
like,
only
you are.
thing.
I said she was stoned, and I was like, these stones on that bodysuit sent me to another realm.
Mhm. And you could even see when she was performing, and she was really performing. I really like that she actually knew how to spin the fucking weapon. Only thing I didn't
Hmm.
like was like it was like prosthetic face, right, and then the hair, then the costume, and then just natural neck, no makeup on the
Natural
neck.
neck.
I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah, not my favorite, not my fantasy, the neckline. But yeah, really sickening. And then Eva. I liked it.
The
I
wig,
would have,
though.
yeah, the wig was a little off. And then I also would have, it just sucks that this week followed right after the witch week, because it was like when they came out and they had like the mop, I was like, this is literally what you did last week. But like she
Yeah.
didn't know it because they could have been split up by like, she could have thought it was gonna be witch week one and then 9 weeks later it was sci-fi. I just think myself, you could have changed it, got a tray, and done like a cake moment.
I didn't really care for Eva's. I didn't really like the bodysuit that I clocked immediately underneath it. I was
Oh
like, that
yeah.
is from Amazon Prime. I didn't like that wig. Something about that wig. You know when cosplayers make this cool fucking armor outfit, cool ass cosplay, and then they put a fucking $2 wig on their head? It was given that.
Mm-hmm.
Like the blonde hair to me just didn't. It looked. There was no blood on the wig. It was like just very clean and just
Yeah,
sitting
it
on
was
her head. And
the
then there
one
was
that I wasn't a fan of. Oh,
no. Keep going.
was a Boris.
Yeah. Why does she do all
Which
this cool
sucks
makeup?
because
She was when we saw her in the boudoir, she was doing these like this eye makeup and cool stuff, and then we see her on the runway and she's got it all covered up.
that, and then I love the concept. I am obsessed with this angel ethereal fantasy moment, and it was very accurate, but like it just wasn't executed the right way at all. And like they do this reveal gag prop moment where they take a dove and they bite its head off.
Yeah, that looked kind of
That
gnarly.
sent me. That was iconic, and then it was just
Iconic because she
lost.
had a lot of eyes on her.
Oh,
Oh!
it was so lacklusting, honestly.
Is this Zanny X?
It is her. Oh my! I'm so glad you called me. I was actually
Actually,
didn't
can
want
you
to let
hold
it
on
speak
for a
to-
second? We're gonna go to a
Oh,
break.
yeah. I'm so sorry. Okay.
You know that TikTok trend where it's like, "Hey, can I call you back?" after they call him? Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like that. Okay, we'll be back.
Hello. Hello.
Yes,
Are you alone?
maybe.
Is your door closed?
Sometimes.
Is it closed right now?
Like my legs, it's wide open, baby.
Well, then you should. I'm watching your webcam right now, and your door's closed.
Okay, if you send me some tokens, I'll show you a little bit more.
Okay. Yeah. I would. What do you want to show me?
Well, I have this penguin.
Oh, I do love penguins.
And you want to know the gag? It's a
Decapitation.
flash drive.
Oh,
Oh,
it's a flash drive. Wow, how many gigabytes can it hold?
enough for us to get back into the podcast. And what are we talking about, stranger?
I think we're talking about.
Dragula Titans.
Have you heard of Anticipation?
Oh yeah, I love her work. She's gonna be
Yeah.
on the next season of Dragula.
I knew it. We're talking
Oh,
about Dragula
sir, what
Titans.
happened to your voice?
I'm gone. It's been a tough week. I took way too much NyQuil. I got a sore throat.
Okay, but I just heard it change for a second.
Yeah, maybe you did, but who cares if you didn't?
Okay, work. Well, I'm gonna go. See you
We're
later.
talking about Titans. Hang
Bye.
on. Bye. So yeah, so that was the runway. Really cool. The billets come out.
Which they look great.
Last week they looked great. Last week really blew me out of the water. This week they also blew me out of the water. I'm very impressed with their silhouettes.
Mm-hmm. Because last season, on
just,
season 4, it was very much a bunch of black thigh-high boots for every outfit. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that they have switched it up for this season.
Listen, if I had a pair of black thigh-high boots, I'd be wearing them every day.
Would you glue candy to them?
And then the judges come out, right? And it's this gentle human named Dave. I cannot pronounce his last name, but his name is David. And apparently he's been in a lot of movies. He was in The Dark Knight. He was in Dune. He was in Suicide Squad, Animals. So really iconic, really
I think
cool.
Ant-Man too.
Yeah, and Ant-Man. And I love seeing crossover moments. So I like seeing people step into this Dragula world. So I was very excited for that. And then segue into crossover episodes.
More like cross-dressers.
Yeah,
Alaska's
we
here.
have the Beautiful and Lovely. Alaska. It's like a little sliver. It just makes my heart beat a little faster when there's someone from another franchise, whether it be Wanakiki or Dragula or
Who from Camp
Drag
Wanakiki
Race.
is here?
No, I mean, who from? I'm just saying, like in
Those
general. Like
horse
anytime there's
girls.
a,
They are horse girls at Camp Wanakiki.
but like when someone from Drag Race shows up on Wanakiki, because I know Ginger Minj was involved with that, and then like having somebody from Drag Race on Dragula, or if we haven't seen it, but if someone was to a guest appearance on Drag Race, I love it. I love seeing that crossover. I love seeing that fantasy, especially when it makes sense, and like just having Alaska in this Dragula world makes sense to me. Um, was really good judging as well. I loved they did the whole Tyra Banks. I didn't like this. I loved it. That was funny. Made me giggle bust a little bit. I snickerdoodled to myself. Really good critiques. I think they did a good job. I honestly agree with the placements. Only thing is I love Kendra so much, so I would have done it. I didn't want to see her on the bottom.
I didn't want to see her in the bottom, but I don't know who else would have been in the bottom three. The bottom three to me made sense. I was like, Erica, I was worried at first for Erica, but I think she really stepped it out, which is good. And the thing is, people think like, and this can be applied to Drag Race, not every category thing is going to be something that you are going to wear outside of this show, right? Sometimes, and the same with pageantry. Bitch, I do not be wearing like super glamour shit all the time, but when I did my pageant, I knew that I'm going to have to appeal to what they're looking for. So sometimes you're going to have to appeal to what they're looking for. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's not who you are, or like vice versa, but like sometimes you have to just do something a little bit out of your comfort zone, to kind of get where you're going.
And I will say, like, feeding off of that statement, I did get, to me, Eva's outfit was very bar competition. Like, it was sickening, but it was very bar competition.
Yeah, hers and Kendra's, honestly, kind of were.
And Kendra's.
Another Kendra stan, y'all.
We Kendra stan. I think Kendra's problem, and I said this at the beginning, Kendra is, and the reason why I felt like they were valid to be there, is like 80% of Kendra's drag is their personality. Now that I've seen them, I would say like 50% of their drag is personality, 30% is like performance, and like 20% is aesthetics. They just are such a great personality to be around, and they're so entertaining and so captivating. And so it's hard on these platforms because most of these platforms, especially
are really like 8 inches and they're hard to walk in. Bitch, did it take you a second to get it?
What? Yeah, I was like, what are you talking about? No, these platforms, they are mainly look-based. Drag Race is now so music-based.
Music, acting, club, another club,
sewing. And Dragula is basically looks. So it sucks passionately because you have somebody like Kendra who, I mean, to me is the personality of the season. And that's a whole talent that I think people forget about, to have a room of that many people with that many personalities and that many emotions and still be able to like kind of navigate it and control it and keep a level head and deal with yourself and go out there and perform. That's a talent. Like that's
a natural talent.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. So it's just frustrating when I see someone
magnanimous
like that not succeed. What do you say?
Magnanimous. On Kendra's videos, she always says the word magnanimous, so I thought it was very
magnanimous.
She's very magnanimous.
To see someone like her not succeed, it just sucks because like I don't think it's fair. But that's my little soapbox. That's my soapbox.
Well, we also forgot to mention earlier, like Melissa, we get to know a little bit more about Melissa, which I like. Her freaking husband left her right when she was about to leave to go to Dragula Titans, which is like crazy. She was like, I have to pretend like that's not bothering me, but when all these bitches are talking about love and the fucking cauldron and the boudoir, it makes me feel kind of weird that I'm gonna go home and there's gonna be nobody there.
I think production is edging us because then production cuts to a Bora being like, I feel like I'm
staring at the wall.
Out of a relationship, just staring at a wall and like just sitting there painting. And it was so Meet the Robinsons. When like that guy, the little boy is like walking in the hallway and then he's like, no one paid attention to me. And then it shows him in the hallway and everyone's like, hey, I love your backpack. That's so cool. Do you want to play baseball after school? Like, and he just is like so in his head.
And nobody cared.
And nobody, because Abora was like, I'm crumbling. Like, I'm dealing with all this emotional turmoil of being rejected, and nobody cares. Meanwhile, like, Melissa is 2 seats away from them, just confessed. They just got, I guess, are going through a divorce. Their husband left them. They have nowhere to go. When they go home, it's just going to be silence and emptiness. And Abora's like, I got rejected. Like, you don't care about me. No one cares about me. And then they all are like, literally everyone in the room is like, Abora, you're off today. What's wrong? And they're like, I don't want to talk about it. I just need to get through it myself. I just
Literally.
need
So
to.
it's like, bitch,
Like, I was like,
shut the fuck up then.
I, honest to God, thought that Melissa was going to get up and then was just gonna go off. Like, I thought they were building for that energy. I was like, I literally wrote, Melissa's about to rip her a new one. Um,
Butthole.
and instead, we got Eva comforting them.
Yeah, but then Melissa was like, you see how these, because she was literally just talking shit to Kendra about the whole love triangle thing. And then 2 seconds later goes over to Abora and is like, hey, bestie.
Hey,
Hey,
Bethany.
bestie, how are you doing?
What's also gag worthy is they show the argumentative conversation where Astrid is telling, and this is back a little bit in the episode. I forgot about this. Astrid is telling Abora like, move on. Hoso does not like you like that. It's you're gonna have to like you have to accept it. Like it's a harsh reality. And Hoso is literally 3 feet away from them. And what sends me is for the first time, production shows like Hoso's listening to people talking at the table, and then behind them you can see Astrid and Abora having this conversation. And Hoso doesn't even like. This is why I think part of it is scripted. Hoso doesn't even flinch. Like there is no like nervous twitch or like tension or like you can when people like start eavesdropping you can see like their eyes kind of turn towards their ear a little bit. There was nothing. Like they just were deadpan faced listening to someone talk.
Well, the thing about it is Hoso is there to win. These
To
bitches
win a
are here to
competition.
fuck. They're just here to for like their silly things. And the thing that annoys me is Abora says all of this stuff to everyone else, but then does not say it to Hoso directly in front of everyone. So,
Stop.
bitch, Hoso's not a mind reader. Hoso's not a mind reader. You know, she could be leading her on. That might be happening. But also, bitch, just say out loud, hey, I don't like this. It does actually make me uncomfortable. So I think it would be best if we could just not do this right now. But then
Stop.
Astrid and the Cauldron's like, we all have to cater to your feelings, which is partially true. Astrid was just saying that out of her own ego. And Hoso is obviously uncomfortable by it because she's like, hey, can you like stop?
Then it cuts to the cauldron, and I honestly kind of lived for this moment. Astrid was like, I'm not gonna say it, I'm not gonna say it, I'm not gonna say it, and then says it. It's just like you are so full of yourself and your confidence is so low that you are praying that you will succeed off of other people fucking up.
She was like saying it doesn't make sense because you say you have all this confidence, but you're so self-conscious at the same time. So like, how does that work?
Stop. And then was like, you have been playing this game where you are trying to get into other people's heads to fuck them up. Like that's the most unconfident thing I've ever seen. And then was like, your ego is going to be your downfall. And then they get mad and storm off and start yelling a bunch of stuff. Very fuck y'all are a bunch of cunts. You better hope to God that I drop, because if not, and then it cuts to Coco being like, bitch, I hope the fuck you drop because you said that. Like you better hope you drop because I'm gonna whoop your ass. And Melissa was like, I'm done, like I'm out, I'm over it.
My favorite quote before we go on to the elimination is Astrid is literally just complaining about how safe they are and all this stuff, even though she was in the top. She's complaining all this, and then across the room, because Astrid's like, I'm not a brat, blah, 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 blah. And then Coco was like, but you do got bratty behavior.
Yeah. Coco was like, hold up, bitch.
Yeah, she literally was just like, but you do got bratty behavior.
And I will say the only time that I kind of agreed with things that Abora is saying, the one time, is when Abora's like sitting at the table like, we are in the bottom, and they don't care. Like we're not even talking about it.
Yeah.
But I will also say, in defense to that, there's not much you can say. We could go back and forth for hours where I tell you my opinions and if I think you're going to go home or if you're not going to go home. But the Boulets are making their decision right now, and you're not doing anything. You're not lip syncing for your life.
Yeah.
You're not doing any exterminations. You're
Girl, if
not
they
doing
were gonna
anything to
lip
save
sync for their
yourself.
life, Kendra would have sent her ass home.
But so it's like, honestly, like I don't. On the other hand, double-edged sword. I kind of don't blame them for discussing tops and just like dumb shit and not really like. You're in the bottom. You're on your own at this point. There's nothing that I can do to save you.
The bottom two are Kendra, Onyx, and Abora. So they go up there, they go up to the steps, and what are you thinking? Who are you thinking is really going to go home?
I'm going to be honest. I really, honest to God, thought it was going to be Abora.
Same. She was already eliminated.
She was already eliminated. Her attitude is foul. No one, the energy in the cauldron, the boudoir is so much tension because of this person. And this person has lashed out multiple times disrespecting other contestants. I get it, competitions aren't for everyone, and they bring out an awful headspaces for some people, which is valid. But like, you really went off on your own cast members multiple times, and you've also just missed the ball multiple times. Like, Kendra may not have been the best looking one there, but Kendra still did what the theme was supposed to be.
Yeah, you could tell she was an alien. You couldn't tell that Abora was an alien.
You could tell Abora was an alien?
You couldn't tell that Abora was an alien.
Yeah, you could not tell Abora was an alien. It's sci-fi. To me, angelistic demon thing fits sci-fi. Sci-fi is such a broad spectrum. But it's that. Like, Kendra was in and you were outside. They didn't get your concept. You're being rude. You're being obnoxious. You don't even, also, like, this is the other thing is, like, you don't even want to be there. Like,
she literally said that she was like, I'm tired of this.
And Kendra wants to be there. I have this weird feeling, and I know it's not accurate, but this is a spoiler alert. I've heard through the grapevines that somebody self-eliminates themselves.
Well, the Boulay brothers said that on their podcast.
Okay, cute.
They said that someone quits because of the drama, and I'm like, when I heard that on episode 1, I said, "Oh, it's going to be Abora," and then Abora was eliminated. But then she came back, and I said, "Oh, it's going to be Abora." I think Abora is going to quit next week, and then we can get her back.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what
we can get her back. Oh, but make sure that she wins the challenge or something, so she's safe. Send one of these white bitches home.
Can we
Oh, bitch. Let's call on to the spirits, Zanny. What shall we ask them?
We should ask that they protect Kendra at all costs and somehow bring her back to us.
I'm gonna say to the spirits, do we need to give you one soul to save one? Well, I might have someone that could fill those requirements.
If it's a life for a life.
Please bring Kendra back to us and secure her safety, as well as the safety of Melissa Be Fierce, Coco Kane, and really, that's all I care about right now. Oh, and you know what, Erica? Let Erica last one more week. But please we need to end the curse that a black person goes home third on Dragula. So please send home a white bitch. Anything else? Please.
Please.
Anything else, Zanny?
If you need a life, I know who's to take.
Work. Thank you. Yeah, Kendra gets eliminated, but I think that... Oh, no, I'm not blowing it out. Yeah, Kendra gets eliminated, which is unfortunate. Overall thoughts...
reality television like this is supposed to pull on you, and I was gagged that Kendra went home. The audible... The audible gasp.
And I'm gagging.
And I'm gagging. Choked. And it's just... I just want Kendra back.
I'm a Kendra stan first, American second. So I'm heartbroken. I want Kendra back, and I hope she comes back. Yeah.
I don't like you.
You know what, bitch? I don't like you. Oh, you love...
I was quoting it.
If I dream everything... Yeah. Next, my hopefuls for the next episode is that Kendra comes back, and that we are done with the love triangle, because I do not care about it. And that Kendra, Coco, or Melissa wins a challenge. I'm tired of the people who already won a challenge on previous seasons are winning challenges now. Like, Victoria already has 2 challenge wins, and it's the 3rd episode.
It's
And I know
also
Melissa
like
has had a challenge win, but like, you know what I mean.
I will say that like this is kind of what I was getting at with Kendra. Like you casted these people knowing what they bring, right? And knowing what they would bring. So far, from what I've seen from Victoria Hoso, yeah, from Victoria and Hoso, and a little bit of Eva and Erica, they've given me what I've seen outside of Titans. Like I've seen it before. I've seen it a lot before. Even Astrid fits in that box. Like Astrid's looks are very well executed, but a lot of times I'm like, this is exactly what you brought in season 4. Like
Yeah.
I want to see you new and refreshed and different and more like even if it's not new but
To
like
be
just
fair with the
heightened.
season 4 girls, it literally was last year.
Yeah, but you can still heighten yourself. Coco's heightening themselves.
Yeah.
uh and like you can't tell, like to me Hoso is just dog walking. Like they are literally just like meh, like I'm here. Like I don't even get an essence of fear. I don't get an essence of excitement. It's just like every look they come out and do, they know that they're going to be okay, and
Yeah, I
that's
see what you
fine.
mean.
But like you see someone like Kendra, or you see someone like Erica, or you see someone like Coco or Melissa, like they are fighting. Like they have passion. They want to be here. Like they're elevating. Like they gave everything to be here. Like like they put so much thought into this. Like this path is going to be life changing for them. And then like someone like Victoria, like you said, like I didn't even know at the time, but now I know it makes me kind of frustrated. Like they did a look that was already done before, from their place of employment that they're really well known for doing. So like as a judge, and I know all these ghouls, I would just kind of be like, Victoria, like you're giving me regular Victoria. I need to see All Star Titan Victoria. Host, like you're giving me regular host. So I need something different from you. Like I need to see you
I mean, but
mix it
what
up because
else
I already
can
know
they
you can do
do?
this.
I feel like their
That's
looks
why
are good, but it's like, what else can they do? It's not
that's why
their
I
fault
don't
that they
think
set the bar high.
that is valid. That is very valid. I just think that with this casting, I think they should have waited until they had more people on that level and then put all the people on that level together, or they should have give like I want like it's so mixed. It's so mixed, and I think I would have liked to see redemption or I don't know.
My top 3 is no longer Kendra at the moment, unfortunately. So I'm gonna put Coco, Melissa, and Hoso.
I would say Hoso, Coco, and Melissa.
Work. All right. Well, Zanny, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at zanny.ex, ZANNY, period, EX. You also can follow the Monday morning Instagram if you want to see dumb little drag memes and things that I'm working on and curating, which is spelled Monday, MONDAY, and then morning, MOURNING, like morning, like sadness, and then KC, the letter K and the letter C. Where can we find you,
You
Terrah?
can find me under most platforms under the name Terrah Card, TERRAHCARD. You can find this podcast under the same name. Stay on the line on almost all platforms on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that. And make sure you are leaving a review and you're liking and commenting on the podcast. Share it with your friends. If you share the podcast, it helps us out, and people get to know more about us. Y'all help me get to 20 patrons. I'm at 18 right now. I'm pretty close. So, but if you want to join the Patreon, you can do as low as just $1 a month. But at the other tiers, you get the full video edition of the podcast and other benefits, like getting your name read out on the podcast. So, like those at the pee pee poo poo tier, our highest tier, we have Matt King, Caitlin B, Willow Whisper, Kiki, as well as .com, Keith W, Po Bray, Zingcat, and Rebecca Carlson. So if you want to join the Patreon, you can at patreon.com/stay on the line. Zanny, is there anything else you would like to add?
I would like to add that the universe is great and the world is kind, and that this podcast is just our opinions, so do not take it personal.
And also,
Um,
don't send hate to people.
that don't send hate to people,
Like, you can have
especially
your
ourselves.
opinions, like, you can make your tweets, just don't be tagging bitches. They don't need to know it. Also, send
That
love to Kendra. Send lots of love. Apparently,
yes.
people were, like, being racist in Kendra's mentions recently because of last week. And people were, like, saying, yeah, just racist shit. And I think death threats, too. So,
Because
go
of last
and...
week.
Yeah, because of last episode, because she wasn't eliminated. And people thought she
Oh,
should have been eliminated. So, send her lots of love.
And I'm Zanny X.
And make sure you stay on the line.
Bow, bow, bow.
Bye.
Bye.